So in today's DIY, we are going to create these really cute and fun shoes. I actually saw them on Instagram. Marc Jacobs is coming out with a similar pair in the springtime, and I thought that they would be the perfect DIY. They're super easy to make, but they look really expensive. I'm really obsessed. I think these are my favorite that I've made this year so far. All you need for this DIY is some leather straps, some pins, scissors, glue, and fabric. So it's just key to find a fabric that matches your shoe really well. I happen to find a really good fabric. It's not exactly the same pink, but that doesn't really matter as long as the texture and the shine and all that matches. Once you fold it and put it on the shoe, it's gonna match really well and you won't really be able to tell any tiny discrepancies. So if you want to see how I made these shoes, keep watching this video.
So the first thing you're going to do is take your elastic strap and you're going to accordion fold it. This is how the ruffle is going to look. But we're starting off doing this so you can determine how much of the fabric you need to cut because we're going to cover it with the fabric. So we are going to fold it about 5 times. I like having 5 loops in the ruffle, and then I'm going to put the strap under itself and cut off maybe 1 or 2 inches longer than I need because when we create the ruffle to put on top, we're going to need that extra piece on the bottom. Once you determine the length you'll need, you just cut it and then put the strap over itself so you can just have your 2 pieces ready to go. Now it's time to pull out the fabric. You are going to place the elastic strap that you just cut and put it on top of the fabric. And what you're going to do is just measure about how much you need of the fabric that is going to be used to cover the strap. Now when you cut the fabric, it doesn't really matter how perfectly straight the line is because you're really just overlapping it, so you won't really see the ends of where you cut it. Now that it's all cut, it's time to glue it on. So I'm going to take my E6000 quick dry glue and I'm going to fold the fabric on one side of the elastic strap and glue it down, and I'm going to fold the other side and glue that down. This will be the inside of the ruffle, so you won't see any of this overlapping or any of the glue, so don't worry about if the glue kind of shows through a little bit. But now our ends are a little bit too long, so what I'm going to do is cut each end a little bit shorter and use a little envelope fold and glue it down. So now you're going to go ahead and do your accordion fold again. I forgot to mention you can measure however long you want your folds to be. Mine are about 1 inch, so this kind of keeps it consistent when you're doing each of the ruffles. You know that your folds are about 1 inch long, so you're folding 1 inch wide. And now you're going to pin them together so you don't want them to move. Now that they're pinned together, you're going to go ahead and glue the bottom fold. That's the extra piece we left. And you're going to glue it onto the bottom of the ruffle. So this leaves a perfectly flat bottom that will make it super easy to glue onto the shoe. And since the glue takes a minute or 2 to dry, I'm going to go ahead and pin it to the bottom to just give it more than enough time to dry in place because I want it to dry really flat. So I don't want the ruffles to fall apart as soon as I take these pins out. So what I'm going to do is in between each ruffle, I'm just going to put a tiny dab of glue all the way at the bottom. So as low as you can get. You have to be really careful here because you don't want glue to get on any other part of the ruffle. So you just want to be careful, take your time, and put a small dab of glue in between each ruffle. Once you have the glue, you're going to squeeze it a little bit tighter and push the pins all the way in now. So now they're a little more taut. And I would just let it dry like that for about 10 minutes and make sure that it's just really on there and it's not going anywhere. Once it's dry, you want to just take all your pins out and get ready to glue it onto the shoe. So this part is really simple since you already have a flat bottom on the ruffle and everything's glued together. It's not going anywhere. You're just going to add a little bit of glue on the bottom of the ruffle and just place it onto the shoe. I like to line the ruffle up with just the little curve of the shoe, so I knew that I could place both of them on that spot and they would be even. And what I'm going to do while I let it dry is just pin it to the shoe to just make sure that it's drying nice and flat.
And when you're done, they look like this. Really cute, really fun, really expensive looking. I will link all the supplies below as well as the shoes in case you want to do the same shoes that I did. And I also am thinking of adding this to the DIY kit. So let me know if you want me to add these. I can pre-make them and then all you have to do is buy the little top part and you're good to go. Alright, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.